He's Penei Sewell-ish. He's Tristan Wirfs-ish, right? Big, perfect body to me as far as a right tackle, left tackle is concerned. Again, he played right tackle at Alabama. I don't think he's going to have any problem playing left tackle either, with the kind of athlete he is. You talk about the traits, right? Physical traits, sure, got them all. The as far as like movement, power, all that. But the traits we talk about that separates the really good tackles from the fringe tackle to the guard, right? There's two things to me that make sense there. The arm length is insane, right? At 35 and 1/8, right? To be 6'6", 342. So arm length insane, anchor insane, and then foot speed and all of that, right? Is real good. It's not perfect, right? So I'm going to say, too, hey, I got Joe Alt number 2. Joe Alt's awesome. If you look at Joe Alt's film, he's the safer, more consistent pick, right? But not so much to me in this one where I go, wait, this guy isn't that raw to where I'm like, oh, man, I'm worried he's got to fix this, and this, right? It's the rawness was, yes, it is there, but the high-end talent and what he does and the physical ability, to me, makes up enough to where I'm going, I'm fine with putting him in front of Joe Alt. It's not that raw to where I go, oh, no, right? So that's where I feel good about it. First off, look at his body. I like legs and butt, and it's incredible. He moves really well. Here's the thing I would say to people, too. Again, a little raw. Watch the start of the season last year. You're not going to be – I told you this before the thing because I almost texted you last night. You watch the start of the year – you watch Texas, the Ole Miss game, you're going to see a few missed blocks, some bad angles in the run game, right? But I'm big into, let's watch the start of the year. Now let me put on some games at the end of the year and see what this guy looks like, right? So you watch some of that. You see all the physical traits and the wowness. You see all that. But there was some that was a horrible angle he took to the linebacker in the second level. Or why did he set up like that trying to protect there? And, he gave himself no chance. It was never physical questions. You were never like, oh, no, he can't do this or can't do that. You were just like, man, he's just got to get a little better in these areas. We got to the end of the year, right? When I watched Auburn, Georgia, and Michigan, forget about it. That's what sold me. I went, whoa, the guy got better at all the things that I was a little worried about. Great eyes, anticipates, right? That's part of this, hey, he sees stunts coming, he comes off the right way, does all of that stuff, knows how to use his hands, right? I'm going to be interested, and another reason I like Latham better, right, is I don't think Alt's anchor is as good as Latham when it's on its P's and Q's, and what I saw, like I said, the last 3 or 4 games of the year from Latham. Yeah. Right?
I think it's Latham.
Latham.
Too,
I keep saying that.
Right.
Latham.
He's our number one guy. We need to embrace his proper pronunciation.
I think I see too many pronunciations, and I then mess it up myself.
We're nervous because of the names that we have coming up.
Latham, though, that's like Joe Alt when he's got to play that power rusher, right? There's a part of me that goes, I'm going to be interested to see how well he is or how good he is in that department. But, damn good football player. We know that. Definite. Yep. Again, top 10, top 12 pick for sure.
I mean, I watched him. I was like, there's nothing wrong with this guy. No. I was like, he's like the perfect offensive lineman. I watched his Ohio State game, and so he did go against some of the top pass rushers.
Well, so who, though? Who was the top?
JT Tuimoloau. Okay. So he didn't come out this year, but he's projected to be, top 3.
Did you look at the projections of the SEC guys for next year?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
All right,
I actually looked ahead because I was like, maybe one of these guys was elite, but they weren't necessarily. But he handled Tuimoloau, and you'll watch later on, and I think we got some other guy, Penn State, had a little trouble with him. And a lot of teams had trouble with him. And he handled him, and it was Tyleik Williams who came back too, second-team All-Big Ten defensive tackles, and he was just passing him off. I mean, he just, unflappable is what I would say.
A thigh that's even a different size compared to Joe Alt. Yeah. And to be, again, keep that picture up one more time, or that one right there. Either one is good.
Just go back and forth.
To be 6'8", 340, and to be put together like that, again, it's not sloppy. Right.
Right.
I mean, it's like he's got a body of a guy that you go, oh yeah, what is he? Is he a defensive end that's 6'4", 278?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh shit, he's 6'8", 340? Oh my gosh, and he has the longest arms in the draft, right? There's nothing to question about the guy athletically, right? Just like the other guys we talked about already. He can do it all. To me, it's just nuance fixing, maybe a little tightness in the hips like we talked about with getting low there and all that, but you can see the abilities there. That's the big thing, right? Getting to the second level, running, moving, side-to-side shuffle with the feet, strength, power, all there. Get coached up and make the adjustment. But, yeah, damn, I like me some Amarius Mims.
Pete has one question for you, and we can look at his heptagon for this. I mean, his percentiles are off the chart. I mean, you can't go off the charts technically because it's just not mathematically possible, but height 91st percentile, weight 94th, wingspan 97th, arm length 95th, hand size 97th. You got broad jump 85th, but then you got the vertical jump at 19th. Does vertical jump matter at all for an offensive lineman?
Not really. No. I mean, it's like the vertical jump and the broad jump are just a little bit about the explosion through the hips, the ability to do that.
Getting I think out of your three-point stance,
a little bit. There's things that translate there. I honestly think O-line coaches will look at it and go, ooh, the broad jump's more important to them because of that ability, again, to roll the hips through, right, to extend, to get your feet out there for the broad jump. So much is needed of that when you block, right? You block somebody, and you don't want to still be crouched over. Like at some point, you want to extend the body, right, and roll those hips through. So now you're almost like a straight plank as you're pushing, and you're getting all use of your body leverage, right? That's something you look at. You know how, like, they do that O-line drill at the combine where they're on their knees and they have to block that way, right, and do that. That's what they're checking. Wait, how much power does he have through the hips when it just goes, can he snap through and move people that way? That's, some of the things you can glean from that.
It would be a surprise if he was the first tackle off the board, but I'm telling you right now, like
he's your favorite. I could tell that he's your favorite.
I just liked him a lot.
I
liked all.
You're allowed to have a man crush on somebody other than the one or two guy. That's
I kind of
okay.
like Mims.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that guy.
Right.
It's just like there's not. It's just I'm blushing. I'm blushing.
You
now.
are. Well, he's got some things about him where you go, it's Trent Brown on his best years, right? He's got some really intriguing things about his pass protection, and he's actually very good at it in a lot of ways. I think that's why the draft community, and again, I think in some circles of the NFL, they're going to look at it and go, wait, I know he can pass protect. He's a safe pick. Let's just do that, right? Right, but I felt like some of the pass protection stuff, I don't know if that's realistic, going to really be able to happen in the NFL when he gets there. Okay, and I'll explain that in a second. One, we know it's really long arms. He's not as big as the other guys we've talked about. This is 6'6", 312, right? It's 30-something pounds lighter than Latham. 28 pounds lighter than Mims. A few pounds, 10 or 12 pounds lighter than Alt. Okay. His ability to get on pass rushers and get his arms on you and close the gap to where they can't go speed to power is phenomenal, right? He's great at that. And then once he gets you, he's got a great wide base and you can't get off of it, right? That's where it's impressive. Now, yes, I think the feet are slow a little bit, even in pass pro. I thought they're the slowest out of the guys we've talked about so far. I thought in the run game, he is the least impressive in the run game as well. He doesn't really move anybody in the run game. He kind of just leans on people, and that's really it. There's never domination in the run game, okay? He's a little slow and lumbering in that department. I thought he was a little slow and lumbering altogether, right? But he's a little more advanced in the technique as far as some of the other guys in pass pro, right? And I think that's going to make people feel warm and cozy, and I think people see that. Guyton is a little all over the place, but I like his high-end ability better than Fashanu. I do.
Let me give you the intro then, the proper intro here. We already know it, but in case you just skipped to the podcast right now, it's a mystery to you. Your number 5 tackle in this class, staying in the tier of promise but needs polish, is
Tyler Guyton, Oklahoma. Yes, we got it right this time. Now, again, like I said, this is one where it was close, and this is one where, like we talked about with Alt and Latham, where I was like, I went back and read my notes, one more time this morning, and I was just like, my notes read that, I like Fashanu better right now, right? Guyton, I like the potential of him better, but, he needs some work, and that's, I think, the biggest thing. He's all pass protection, Guyton. It again, another one that I sit there and go, really love the pass pro in a lot of ways, but he needs work as far as, again, the technique and all of that. He is way too crazy high at times, right? Mm-hmm. And like you talked about a little bit with Fashanu, Guyton has some games and some where I just go, we got to level up the intensity a little bit. I got to see a little bit more nasty. I got to see a little bit more urgency and firing off the ball and protecting and do all that, right? That, I think, is where I ended up putting Fashanu just a little bit above him, right? But when you talk about, like, pass pro, it needs a little tech work, but still, it's damn good. And yeah, he nobody bull rushes him. That's the thing I liked about him as well. Feet are a little bit all over the place, right? And he's got a really good punch to stop the charge. And again, it's another guy with pretty damn long arms here that just got the protocol look all together. Yo, homies, what's up? I know it's the offseason, but it's never the offseason on Chris Simms Unbuttoned. Me and Ahmed Fareed are going to be here for it all. We got free agency. We're going to break it all down. The draft, the rankings of positions. Of course, we're going to unpack it all. Hit subscribe, get to my free agency reactions, 2024 draft rankings, and more. Thanks again for watching. Peace out, homies. See you soon.